Negotiation started, I guess, 2019 until today. What has been the concern, at least that you see among the community?
I think the concern has always been where are we really going as a country? Because as we all know, all the infrastructure that has been created today in this country, the contribution has been coming from the diamonds. And obviously, when the agreement is not coming to an end, each and every single Botswana, because we do have got a relationship to a diamond, because we are who we are today because of diamonds, we have got a right to get worried.
Some people have always talked about the Jwaneng and Orapa mine, the open pit being an opportunity to expand or to make it a part of tourism in Botswana. How feasible is that? I know that sometimes people book, if I'm not wrong, to go to Jwaneng and be taken around to see the mine itself. How feasible is it, given the security that exists at the mine, to make it part of their tourism?
Currently what we do is that we have parks where we have some wild animals, and looking forward, because as we do mine, we also look at how would the towns where we are mining in will be looking like after we have finished mining the diamonds. The idea now is to transform and commercialize this park, particularly at Jwaneng. We are going to commercialize Jwaneng Park and take advantage of the Trans-Kalahari Road, because there are a lot of tourists that comes from South Africa to Namibia. So we are going to create Jwaneng as a tourist attraction center through the Jwaneng Park.
And as you talk about obviously Trans-Kalahari Highway has always been touted as one of the most important infrastructures that are available, road infrastructure that is not being made good. People are not making full good use of it. I think as a mine that has got financial strength, obviously once you partake in that, you will get a lot of people interested in it. Let me just give you time to talk about beyond Jwaneng and talk about mining in Botswana and your appreciation, your appreciation of the role of mines in Botswana.
Yeah, Botswana has been a successful country, mainly from the mining industry perspective, because mining industry, after the beef, taken over to drive the economy of this country. And what I think as Botswana have to look at, we have always been reliant on diamonds, but we do have got a lot of commodities and we have a lot of mines around. I do believe that since the diamond market is not doing well, other commodities, they really have to come to party and make sure that they contribute as equally as the diamond has contributed over the years. And from the Jwaneng perspective, we have got very solid plans to ensure that once the diamonds that we are mining in this town, they are finished, this town continue to exist and continue to be relevant into this country.
Okay, let's now look into the future after 10 years. We know that the agreement includes that there will be rough diamonds that will be supplied to ODC, Okavango Diamond, would be at 50% equal with DBS. How is this, in your understanding of the mining business, how is it going to affect the relationship between Botswana and DBS in any way?
I think this is a good development for Botswana.
Yeah.
Because we have always been reliant from the marketing perspective in DBS. But as Botswana, I think it will be very important for us to take part in the marketing of our own product, so that we can easily articulate our story, because we have seen diamonds transforming this country from where it was to where it is today. And that story can easily be told by the natives of this country.
And is there any possibility that eventually perhaps ODC may be tempted to say, and I'm asking you this question, I'll still ask those who are relevant, but I just want to get it from you because you do have a extended knowledge of the industry. Do you think there will be a possibility, a temptation by ODC to say, we want to start our own site holder system?
I'm not quite aware with their strategic objective
Yeah.
and their strategic long-term business plan.
Yeah.
But if they would think that way, I think that would be a very good development.
But I look at it as if it's possible, if it happens, it would be an exciting development to ODC and of course to Botswana.
Yes.
But wouldn't there be some kind of a competition between the two, that is DPS and Botswana now getting into the market? We've been used to what you could sum as a monopoly of the market. Isn't that going to create now competition that may turn ugly?
We have been mining diamonds for over 50 years.
Yeah.
But as Botswana, we should be confident that we have grown and we have acquired a lot of experience. So, I mean, for me, I don't see it as a problem. But what is important is for us to showcase and take full ownership of these products and get into the market and ensure that we market it, because we cannot tell our story much better.
How many, let's talk about people again. How many, the Jwaneng mine itself, what percentage of its staff complement come from outside? I just want to understand whether you are relying on some skills that you have to export.
There has been a lot of work that we have done over the years as Jwaneng Mine to decisively and intentionally empower Botswana. So currently, if you look at the services that we are providing or the entrepreneurship, so we are at over 90% of Botswana, and only less than 10% is foreign service.
And that must be good music to quite a lot of many Botswana at home. When it comes to, and I want you to, as far as you can, to talk about the inspiration that you see the story of mining in Botswana bearing in the youthful community. Do you look at them as people who are comfortable too much to a point of forgetting that in future it will be them taking over and running the country? Are they fine-tuned to take over from yourself?
Yeah, we are also, from Jwaneng perspective, we are intentional about handing over the leadership to the youth. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are going to run with these industries in future. And the good thing about the youth is that they think differently. They are more technologically advanced. And I do believe that if you give them an opportunity, as much as we have achieved what we have achieved over the years from these diamonds, they can optimize it in such a manner that they create even more value from this industry, which can actually drive or continue to drive this country forward. Okay,
how much has Jwaneng Mine embraced technology? I ask this because it is now understood that technology has been embraced by a lot of businesses, and notably for the fact that it reduces costs. How much has Jwaneng Mine embraced technology?
Jwaneng Mine is actually, from a technological perspective, I would say we are one of the benchmarks, because each and every process that we do, we challenge it and find means and ways of introducing technology to optimize the process and activities and cost. Okay.
Somebody at home will probably be saying, why am I not asking you about the level of production monthly? How much do you produce carats? How much do you produce and contribute to the total number of carats that comes out of Botswana right into Botswana?
Jwaneng produces over 100 million tons of material per annum, and we produce 13 million carats per annum with 10 million tons treated.
10 million?
Tons, treated tons.
And once this has been done, do you think that number will grow up, or you want to maintain it?
But currently, because we are looking at the current market conditions, the diamonds are not doing well. Like I said, our production is aligned to the market demand.
Okay. So you don't produce to stockpile?
No, we don't produce to stockpile because we align ourselves to the market.
So your client
because we already have stockpiles, but we don't want to increase the level of stockpiles because we do have enough. So what we are currently producing, we make sure that we optimize it in such a manner that is aligned to the current market demand.
Okay, so some people have, and I'm asking you this question because it's this curiosity. Some people have been saying Look, in other countries like Namibia are said to be continuing to sell. Why has Botswana not taken that stand? Do you understand why? Is there any truth in that?
No, it's just a perception.
It's just a perception.
Yeah, each and every single country is struggling, just like Botswana is currently struggling.
Okay, so the talk was that other countries have decided that we will sell at the price that the market offers, and that some countries like Botswana have decided, no, we will wait until the price reaches to the level that we know we deserve.
Yes, there are some countries that they are selling at a very, very low price, of which I think in future they will regret that. But as Botswana, and as we do understand where we are really going, we will definitely make sure that we are not going to sell our stuff cheaper.
Okay, so I get that the most important thing is production going forward. Is that you're going to be able to manage that production so that it doesn't surpass the demand levels, and where you end up with too much in your hands that has not been taken up by the market. So you align yourself to what the market demands are.
Yes.
And that sounds like it's a good strategy for the market. I have to thank you very much for your time and appreciate the information that you've shared. I have no doubt that you will be available going forward to share much more after the signing, and much more of your appreciation of what changes this is going to herald going forward.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
All right. So we go further to give you more on this. We will be having another guest who will share with you much of what they have in their office that they've gathered to share with the General Botswana on this important day. I've got to say it again that Botswana, Botswana, of course, is the main player here in between DBS and the government of Botswana. Here's how. It is a joint venture between DBS Group and the government of Botswana. It's a joint venture that receives the output, or rather the stock from the mines, and then it then sells that to the market, to DBS, and DBS, of course, eventually, it understands quite a lot about the market. The market out there, which I think it was, you will understand why eventually Botswana decided that we also have to be on par with DBS in terms of understanding the market. And then they decided to set up what is called Okavango Diamond Company. With me here, I have the board chair himself of ODC, Okavango Diamond Company, as I said, Dr. Hape Kaboya Kosi. Thank you very much for allowing us to have your...
Thanks for having me.
Yes. I see that the smile says a lot about how much you appreciate this day.
Much indeed. A momentous day in the history of our country. Its people, who are the shareholders in the Okavango Diamond Company, and of course our economy as well. So it's quite a momentous day that we've come to this. Yeah.
Okay. What is the ODC? What is its role basically in the diamond industry?
Yeah. The Okavango Diamond Company is the government-owned private company, 100% private.
Yeah.
Though owned by state.
Yeah.
Which has a mandate of, we can say it is three-legged. The first bit of it is to provide the government of Botswana with a direct route for market into the global diamond sales. And then also to assist the government in terms of, what do you call it, transforming our country into the best destination for diamond sourcing, natural rough diamonds, I guess. And then, as well as that, which two did I mention?
The giving a window into
hey. And then the third one is about price discovery for the government. In other words, government of Botswana, as a major player in the global diamond market, will know whether the prices it is receiving from diamonds is right or not through ODC participating in the global diamond market. In other words, we provide the government and its people a seat at the table in the global diamond market.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much are you performing to satisfactory to that duties, or rather the responsibilities that you are expected to perform?
Look,
I know you only announced at once. I think it was when you were in Dubai during an event that was held there. I think it was a global something.
Yeah.
That was the only time that celebrating the performance of the sales.
I see. So perhaps you're saying we don't.
You don't share much information
share
about what
much
you're doing. Is
information.
it because you're not doing well? You only sell it when you're doing well.
No, we've been doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing very well. I think with the exception of last year, in the last 3 years or so, continuously, or even up to 4 or 5. I'm not sure the detail, but we are one of the state-owned entities that has continually provided government with a check called a dividend every year based on our performance, our sales performance. But of course, due to the headwinds that you know about, that the diamond market has faced, 23 into 24, now 25. Yes, in the last year we haven't done so well, but I can assure you, as a company, we've been providing a lot of good value for money for the shareholder.
Going forward, you're going to have eventually,
Yeah.
you're going to have a 50% supply, just as DBS will also get 50% supply. What does that mean?
That actually means government's role and direct role in selling its own rocks for the beneficiation, for the benefit of the country is going to be through a mechanism that government has a direct control over. And that, our duty in terms of beneficiation will actually increase. We're not the only ones, we contribute to that, but our duty and responsibility is now going to, of course, increase with the amount of allocation that we have. So for me, and include, of course, other responsibilities we have, such as ensuring that citizens have a greater role in terms of participation in the diamond market. In the last year, we have developed a mechanism for citizen participation that is based strictly on citizen companies having access to RAF, and we are trying to develop them, especially the younger companies, not youth in terms of dingwaga, but rather because they are new in the market. So all of these will obviously rise with the amount of responsibility that is facing us. And so it is a time for ODC to rise and be counted. And to answer your question, yes, it is a challenge that we intend to meet head on.
Okay, you're going to have, I just want to ask you, when you get 50% supply,
Yes.
just as DBS, aren't you going to get tempted to set up your own site holder system and rival DBS?
Look, we sell diamonds right now through what you call auctions.
Yeah.
But it's our every intention, a bit delayed, to now contract people that are going to buy these diamonds on an assured regular basis, so that they have an assured supply while we also have an assured revenue that is coming in. So yes, I don't know whether we'll call it site holder, but yes, we'll have a contract sales approach to go with, of course, with how we've been doing things, contracts, and the citizen approach as well. So we'll have multiple sales channels, different channels, citizens, auctions, and contracts, to make sure that we diversify our revenue sources.
Okay, so from long time back, we were used to what you call the one selling arm of DBS,
Like the
which
CSO?
was the central,
Yeah,
CSO.
yeah.
That was the only one,
Yeah.
and it went well for Botswana and DBS. Although some people looked at it monopoly,
Yeah.
but do you think when you start your own contracted customers,
Yeah.
and DBS has its own contracted customers,
Yeah.
isn't that going to disturb much of the value that we've been enjoying as a country, or would that even enhance the value?
Yeah, no, to my mind, this is about competition.
Yeah.
And competitiveness. And mind you, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of changes that have been occurring in the global diamond market, and it is a change that we cannot reverse now. Because, for instance, you have lab-grown diamonds that are providing a competitor to DBS.
Yeah.
And of course, we have many other participants entering, and some of them that cannot be controlled by the CSO or whatever DBS has. For instance, well, I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. To respect the sensitivity of some of these, but there's a whole lot of diversity of players in here, and that is where the market is going. Used to be good, but now we have to reckon with what the market is throwing at us. Yeah.
Let's talk about the human capital.
Human
Is
capital.
ODC in 10 years' time, when this comes to an end, would it be in a position where it can say it have got a pool of resourceful people who can take on the market on their own?
Excellent question. Look, I think none of us was born knowing how to source and how to grade diamonds, etc. But ODC is currently restructuring. We are restructuring based on the expectation of 10%, 50% allocation. So we are already expanding our staff and its expertise and the technology that we have at our disposal, including collaborating with local institutions, so that in terms of technology, in terms of human resources, human capital, that's now the new term, no, definitely we'll be ready. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How do you sell right now? You sell to the same clientele of DBS? People come here 10 times a year?
Yes. We do sell. I mean, the demand dimension is kind of the same as DBS. Yes. I think the only challenge is this year, or this past year, you are well aware that we've had to skip some some auctions.
Yeah.
But yes, we sell to the same people as DBS, and here and there we do have ODC customers that are not necessarily DBS customers. Yeah.
All right, let's look forward to that time when DBS will be also having its own site holder system, which of course you are not hesitant, you are very much hesitant to call it that.
DBS already does have,
I mean
ODC.
Where ODC
yes,
will have its own site holder system. I know you are hesitating to call it...
No, sooner rather than later. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Kaboya Posi, for your
It's been a pleasure. It's been a great pleasure.
Appreciate.
Yeah. Looking forward to greater things for our nation.
Absolutely.
The company and everybody else concerned.
Right now we are just expecting the president to be coming here and gracing the occasion. And of course, once he's here, a lot will focus now on when is the signing going to happen. When is that moment when cameras will be capturing the most important...
Oh,
exactly. We're looking forward to that and to capture the moment in time. And that will be something that you can keep for posterity, for kids of tomorrow, for the next generations, to be able to look back and say, is this what transformed our lives? Is this what really changed and made our life very easy to live? Almost like live in Africa and live the life of the most developed nations that are enjoyed by our citizens. We will be, of course, as I said, have another guest. We'll be talking about his understanding of the market, what he anticipates will happen. The notable thing that I just learned now is the possibility of ODC having its own contractor system or site holder system. Site holder basically means companies that are contracted to be the ones that come and buy from ODC, just as it is happening right now. Rarabile, sir, I am going to have to welcome you with warm hands because you're going to help us with a lot of information in the media. You understand quite a lot of what is happening there because you record almost everything that is important to be recorded. Ramapani, thank you very much for gracing this occasion, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me, and greetings to our viewers at home.
Yeah, let's talk about the impact of the signing ceremony.
Well, you remember that this negotiations took over 6 years, or almost nearly 6 years. So this was a different kind of negotiations where a lot was at stake. The government of the Republic of Botswana wanted more. And as you know, the nature of negotiations, you have to engage, debate, and then meet each other halfway. So the impact is that now we will see a lot of value coming to Botswana. I see you just spoke to ODC. Today, immediately after they have signed, ODC will start taking up 30% of the Botswana rough diamonds, and that will increase gradually to 50% over the 10-year period. And also, you'd also understand that as part of this signing, there is also the signing of new leases for the Botswana mines. What that means is that now, in terms of the policy framework, the regulatory framework, the Botswana is permitted to continue to mine diamonds ethically and continue to impact. So what this means is that now the markets will probably start to react to this, and they will probably react positively. You remember that over the past 12 months or 2 years or so, the diamond markets were not necessarily doing well. The sales last year went down. So we suspected that the suspense that was caused by the deal not being signed also caused uncertainty in the markets. So the positive impact is that now, after this signing, there will be that confidence returning to the market.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are the project manager of the Future of Mining Summit.
Yes.
That I think it's 1 year old.
Yes, it's one. The inaugural one was last year.
Exactly.
Yes.
What are you hearing from the stakeholders in the market when you meet them, especially during that time of the inauguration of the event?
No, last year we had the inaugural the Future of Mining Summit. What was coming out of that summit is that there is still future for diamond mining in this country. There is still future for, as you know that Botswana has some mine life extension projects such as the Jwaneng underground, and also there is the Orapa country, which is at the feasibility study. So what we are understanding is that the natural diamond market is challenged. It's challenged, yes, but the future and the hope is there. Because these are our natural diamonds that continue to impact our country, that continue to develop, that has the history over 50 years of having developed our country. So what we are picking from the stakeholders is that there are opportunities in the horizon.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the story of Botswana, the diamond story. You are a journalist, and that's your responsibility to tell the story. Has the market understood the story of the the diamond story, the Botswana's diamond story, as much as you would have anticipated, or where you wish?
The market has understood, but I can tell you something for free. There is still a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of marketing our diamonds. Also, piggybacking from what I said at the Future of Mining Summit last year, the managing director of Lukara Botswana highlighted that then we need to consolidate our efforts. And DBS also reiterated that. You remember when the DBS group met for the first time with the new president of the Republic of Botswana, Advocate Duma Boko. Al-Cook highlighted that now what we need to do going forward is to Botswana and DBS to stand shoulder to shoulder in marketing our diamonds, in telling the provenance story, because you know that there is competition from synthetic diamonds that are produced in the lab. But I can tell you one thing, that they are bringing a challenge. But if you continue to market our diamonds, tell our story, synthetics.
And as you mentioned, Cook and President Duma, that's where they are being coming in the monitor there for people to appreciate who actually we are talking about.
Yes.
I wanted to also just in your understanding or your observation of what the market, the media outside is showing us here in Botswana, what level of understanding do you read from what you get from the international media?
First of all, I need to highlight that it needs to be the media, us here, locally, that set that agenda, that tell that story. The media outside, they understand, but they don't have a full comprehension of the story of our diamonds here. Not that they're telling anything negative, no. But in terms of propelling the positive impact that diamonds has done, it is the responsibility of the local media here. On the sidelines of the the mining industry in Cape Town last month, we launched the Botswana mining publication with the Minister of Minerals, Boholo Kenewendo. But what we are trying to do, we are highlighting these positive stories, the provenance stories of our Botswana natural diamonds, and what they have done, and what are the value chain opportunities that are in the horizon in terms of cutting and polishing, beneficiation, jewelry making, and continue to create jobs in our country.
And when you speak of jewelry, it's very interesting because some of the people who are here come from the Jewish community, who are understood to be some of those that are the big diamond buyers generally throughout the world.
Yes.
They are seen or understood as one of the biggest community that buys diamonds. And it's pleasing to see them, quite a lot of them are here.
Yes.
It's also pleasing to remind our viewer that the president is going to be here, so will be his vice, Re Ndaba Holakli, just to show you the magnitude of the importance of this deal.
Yes. What does that? It shows you how much this event today, the signing, is very important in the global diamond market. Because remember, Botswana is the biggest diamond producer by value in the world.
In 1997, when Re Mahang was in London, when he spoke about the importance of diamonds, he said, diamonds are important, very important to
Yes,
Botswana.
yes.
And then he said, Botswana is therefore important to the world on the basis of diamonds.
There is no global diamond industry without Botswana. Botswana will continue to support the global diamond industry in terms of the security of supply of ethically sourced diamonds that continue to do good and continue to effect and impact the nation and the communities around where the diamonds are marketed positively. So even also as part of this deal, there is also assurance in continue to spend in the mine life extensions or the major projects to extend the Botswana mines. You'd understand that Jwaneng will take
it's on the screen there, just to just remind our viewer that on the screen there was David Mahang, who is also one of the luminary names in the story of how DTC or diamonds industry was relocated from
London to
Gaborone.
Yes.
He's very crucial. I don't think the history of the diamond industry would be written without his name appearing there.
And many other icons who have. Remember, there was a lot of negotiations prior to that, the relocation of DTC to Gaborone, the establishment of ODC. Now today we are taking it further to continue to create more value to Botswana.
Yeah, and as I said, let me just also share with you that the cabinet ministers who are here, I see Salakai of Transport, he's also here. I see the Member of Parliament, Mayor Unity Dao, is also here to also be witness this momentous occasion.
Yes, that continues to show you how much this event is very important to the future of our country.
Yeah, and I think the people who stay or rather live in the background here in White City are also very much excited to see this, because the first time they saw this, they who grew up here in White City saw this building when it was built in 1982. They saw, I think it was the first time they saw a landmark building, being constructed next to their township.
Yes, and this building went on to be one of the most important structures in our country. You'll
keep seeing the most important people as they appear there on the screen, coming through to also, of course, as you said, witness this most important day in Botswana history, and of course in the DBS group history. It is something that the market has been looking forward for, saying once this deal happens, once everybody signs, the market will breathe a sigh of relief and say, now we know what we can do, the planning going forward.
Yes, like I highlighted that the suspense or the prolonged negotiations or the delayed signing of this deal, a part of which was caused by COVID, where the negotiators were unable to meet quite often. It created some bit of uncertainty in the market.
Yeah.
Remember, Botswana is very important in the supply chain and the supply of rough diamonds into the cutting and polishing inventories, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So now that the signing has happened, that will bring back confidence in the market. Financiers will start to purchase more, and the inventories will start to move. Cutting and polishing, jewelers or jewelry manufacturing companies, like we've just highlighted, the Jewish companies all the way from Tel Aviv, will start now to buy rough diamonds and to cut and polish, and that will make our diamonds produced in Jwaneng to move up the supply chain, and that means revenue for our country.
I want to put a question to you that if it's something that you cannot handle, you will try where you can. But the concern has always been globally that the cutting and polishing industry is very expensive to undertake, and that here in Botswana it has proven that companies which are here are actually finding it expensive, and the call for a minimum of 4,000 pula has become a rather very concerning issue to them. There are some, of course, which have, at least one company that I'm aware of, that has already started paying that 4,000 pula. And those who understand much have saying Botswana government and the BDM, Botswana diamond manufacturing company,
yes.
yeah, should come together and find ways that they can make the industry to be accommodative in terms of expenses, and but still be able to provide jobs that are decent.
Yes, listen, first of all, the baseline of decent wages, that one we should be firm and not negotiate about it. And therefore, when we do that, we shouldn't just throw in the figure, yes, of course. We should understand that there are some infant industries, such as the cutting and polishing. Infant, I mean, that are still developing.
Yes.
You know that in terms of the diamond pipeline or the diamond value chain, the upstream, which is the mining or the extraction of diamonds from the ground, that one is very mature. Botswana, Lukara, all the other mines, people are paid very well. But when we get to the midstream now, that's where the costs are a bit high. It is not that entirely competitive, even in terms of pricing. So it is the responsibility of the policymakers as well, the government as well, and the industry itself to come up with the innovative financing models, to partner with financial institutions. You know that in the past, Barclays, which is now ABSA, you know, even Standard Chartered Bank have went on to extend some financing models for cut and polishing, and other site holders who would process the goods here, cut and polish here. So it is expensive. It is not yet competitive, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't pay people good wages, and it doesn't mean that we shouldn't continue to develop the industry. We should continue to develop the industry, and the diamond producers should come up with the cut and polishers, the financial institutions, and create models in which it will be beneficial for everyone. And foremost, the jobs must be paid decent wages.
So in short, during the 2000, early 2000, when the debate of whether Botswana would be able to accommodate or cope with the diamond cutting and polishing industry, the concern was that, look, if you benchmark in other countries, those countries are basically running sweatshops, and you cannot allow that to happen in Botswana. But those who were advocating for this industry to be in Botswana were saying that if you go to some countries, you will realize that some of them actually run the cutting and polishing industry, and they pay well. So basically that's what the point you are saying, that it takes not just Botswana to command, but to get in negotiations with the players and the financing institutions.
Yes, because remember, I
see Manasha is there, Neo Moroka is there. They're also here.
Yeah, you know that Manasha is the second woman to be the minister of minerals and energy in the country. The first one being the late Machiepe, who passed away some few weeks back, and the third woman being Boholuke Wendo. So we have some of the stalwarts who have contributed to the development of our country.
And Remo Roka, there having been graced the offices of DBS, has also been graced the cabinet. So they understand quite a lot about what is happening today.
Yes, but I wanted to go back to your question and just to reiterate that other countries have done it, but predominantly because those countries, they have access to labor, maybe at lower prices. But we should concentrate about in other countries. We should work on ourselves as Botswana, develop the skills. One of the reasons that will help us to beneficiate or develop diamond value chains is to develop the skills. Like the Minister of Finance was talking when he was delivering the maiden speech, budget speech, that there's going to need to be focus on development of skills or resuscitation of TVET, technical colleges. We must start teaching cutting and polishing at the technical colleges. We must start teaching and capacitating our students with jewelry making at the technical colleges. This will be very important in us realizing this dream of value chain development, cutting and polishing and beneficiation in our country, and also partnering with stakeholders like your financiers, like I've highlighted.
Okay, does that talk to OD College of Arts?
Yes, and we
Is
should-
it being used as it has
yes,
to be?
that has been the start, and you know that DBS Botswana has partnered with OD College of Arts to develop those skills. Now the government needs to come in, take it to Gaborone Technical College, take it to Francistown Technical College, and make sure that those who are willing to learn the skills, they learn, and then we can develop our jewelry makers to the level of that participate in the global fashion and jewelry luxury world.
We're waiting here, of course, to welcome the president, who is the main, of course, the most important person that will be here to make sure that what Botswana is committing to is going to be respected, as it has always been throughout the years, from 1967, when the diamonds were discovered by a DBS geologist in Orapa. And we look forward to welcoming the president here. Of course, I also understand that his vice, Re Ndaba Haolakli, will also be here. So basically, the most important people in the country will be here, from the private sector to government, and of course to the public enterprises. They are also well represented here. And as I said, I am with one of the fellow journalists here to share with us quite a lot about what his role is in the market, in as far as making sure that Botswana is well positioned in the world, in as far as telling the story, the Botswana story going forward. We will once again look forward to that signing. Rarabilwe Ramapane is here to share with us what he expects. Let's talk about after 10 years. What do you expect? Just to wrap up in 2 minutes, what do you expect?
Well, you understand that there is option to increase, the 10-year sales agreement to 15. So the two parties, DBS and Botswana government, will engage, and they will take that option if a need arise. So, but after that, what we expect is the continued creation of value for our country, and the renegotiation for more value for each partners, the renegotiation for the extension of the sales deal, and which will then in turn bring more beneficiation, more value, more curtain polishing, and more jobs to our country. Yeah.
And when you look at the screen there, you see that people have began to take their seat and wait patiently for that occasion when we will be saying it is happening. It is happening exactly what we have always been expecting. We're going to continue giving you one guest after the other to share much more of what this day means and what the day implies, or what will be signed today implies going forward. I know that I wanted you to say something about after 10 years, when DBS and ODC will now be on equal footing in terms
50-50,
of what they'll be
yes.
getting from
Yes.
DBS, the Botswana itself.
Yes.
Do you think there will be a possibility of rivalry in the market?
No. I don't think there will be such a possibility. Like I've highlighted before. This
And I
is
say
the-
rivalry here in
No,
the
no,
good
no, no,
context of saying there would be too much competition.
There won't be such. There won't be such. Like I've highlighted, this is the what has been globally touted as the most successful public-private partnership. So what I expect is that the two parties will continue to engage, and there will be win-win for
both of
us.
them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the screen again and still see. You can tell me what some of the people that you've seen here that we may have missed, that are also critical in this day. I see journalists, quite a lot of journalists are here, as it has to be. I see a colleague, Victor Batwing, is also here. Tikarabara Madubu is also here. I'm mentioning this because these are people who are here to make sure that they record everything that has to be recorded going
and
forward.
we continue to see the arrival of dignitaries, members of parliament, cabinet ministers, corporate executives, reaffirming the importance of this critical event in the future of our country.
I think it's very, you can see that the faces that you see here, these are people from Africa, from Europe, from America, from the Arab world, and from the Middle East. Let's just say from the Middle East itself. It shows you that this industry it doesn't only mean a lot to Botswana or to Africa. It means a lot to quite a lot of people across the world.
Yes, because our diamonds are supplied to cutting and polishing firms, jewelry manufacturing entities all over the world, to China, to Dubai, to Tel Aviv, to Surat, India, to Belgium, to the United States of America.
All right, we're bringing you another guest, and after thanking my colleague here, I think he will be going out to see what he can record also for posterity, for his clientele. They look forward to reading a lot about what you've captured here, and of course, people look forward to that summit,
the Future
when
of
it
Mining
takes place.
Summit.
The Future of
It's
Mining
happening
Summit
on the 18th and 19th of June this year.
All right. Here comes our next guest. Is Re Charles Siwawa. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Botswana Chamber of Mines. You will understand what Botswana Chamber of Mines, the role that they play generally in the mining industry in Botswana. They are the go-to organization. They are there to be the to be the eyes and the ears of the mining industry, or the mining players. He is, of course, now seated next to me here, Re Charles Siwawa. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion, sir, and welcome to Botswana Television.
Good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me to participate in today's forum.
You are the Chief Executive Officer of Botswana Chamber of Mines, and you are here to witness what is happening here in your own words. What is the relevance of you being here as Chamber of Mines?
I think the concept is very simple. We are here to witness the signing of a very important agreement between the government of Botswana and De Beers Mining Company. De Beers Mining Company has been in operation for more than 200 years, 2 centuries. And this government of Botswana, in going into this agreement with De Beers, signifies the importance of De Beers to the government of Botswana, and also the government of Botswana to De Beers. That's how we look at it.
Yeah. I was just reminding our viewers that in 1987, Ramahang, when he was in London, he said the diamonds are very important to Botswana, but Botswana is very important to the diamond industry in the world. And you are just underscoring that statement. The changes that we have seen are not unusual. Except that we will always expect that when the contract is renewed, there will be new benefits that will be added. It has always been happening. Remember that the first was 5 years, and then after that it was 10 years, and we've always been holding it at 10 years. But this time they say that we're going to, with Okavango Diamond Company in existence, the focus is now on that in 10 years they will be receiving equal amount of supply, just as De Beers. How much change would this make to Botswana in its competitiveness in the market?
I think the operative word there is the number of years.
Yeah.
That in 10 years' time, we will be getting as many diamonds as what De Beers does. Now, you look at currently, we have a 50-50 partnership with De Beers as a government in terms of production. So therefore, you are moving that part of the agreement to include your sales. And that is quite significant to the economy of the country. Because what it is saying is that you will therefore be able to market 50% of the diamonds that you are producing, as opposed to them being marketed by De Beers. Excuse me.
Okay, do you know why, I'm throwing this question, I know it may be a tough one, but do you know why there has been a delay? That's when I say you, I mean, does the Chamber of Mines know why there has been this delay to sign?
Excuse me. Look, I'm not privy to the signing, the negotiations. Excuse me. But there obviously was some points that cut. Give me some water.
Yeah. Let's continue to look at the screen there, and you'll see many people coming through. The notable, you can see, as I said earlier, that the Jewish community is well represented here. You see them on the screen there as we await to continue with Re Siwawa, as we continue to give you the story as it develops today. We will, for now, go back to the studio to continue with the broadcasting.
yo ontse o mo o reditsa kana o mo bogetse ho motho a gaetsho ke re ba ona o dirile e le megadikgang wa rona mo BTV News le baganeng le tsa kgwebo le tsa papadi jalo jalo mme ana buisana le baitsana pe ba na le ditso ka go harologana le bana le seabe ka go harologana a le gone ka go rapa house go leng gore re tshologetse gore re be re bona yaanong go bewa ga monwana ga tumalano e shahaditsweng ga gare ga gormente wa Botswana le kompone ya DBS Group motsotso mongwe le mongwe go tswa mo nakong e re tla be re boela ka go bone ra go bona jalo go bewa monwana tumalano eo ke e leng gore e bua jaana ka ga thekiso ya di temane tse di sa thahadiwang tota e ruri hatsa kana e tiisetsa botsana jo ja ga DBS le hasla Botswana jo bona le dingwe ga di ka nna bo 50 dingwe tsa ile gore re ka solela gore ha re ntse re tla re setse khanye mara gore ka di solohela ke gore tota go tshwantso gape mo tumanong eo go bo gona le gape le go atolosa jalo teseletso ya go epa temane mo lehatsheng la Botswana ga kompone go teng Botswana ke re ba itse gore ke tshwaragano ya gormente wa Botswana le ene DBS le yone license eo kana teseletso eo e tla shahadiwa go itlhala ka ngwaga wa 2054 re sologetse gore be le gore lehatshe la Botswana gape le tsena mo goreng le rebolelo kana ba dumalane bobedi jo bo dumalane gore lehatshe la Botswana le ka rekisa 30% wa ditemane le di thekisetsa le rekisa yalo ka tshwaragano ya bone le DBS be re soletse gore se Botswana se robang mo thekong ya di temane tse be le gore ka bonya sa go goroga go 50% wa letseno la temane ya rona ke tse leng gore re di soletse gore di tswe mo go bewe monwana ga tumalano e seo se tla diragala tshologelwa ke gore tumalano e re seo se be se diragetse ka ngwaga wa 2035 seo tsotlhe motho ga getso ene re ba no dirile ona gape le ke file makgaotsane ba gone ka kwa rapa house kwa ileng gore ditsotse di tlabe di diragala teng ke ditsotse ileng gore ha o di sala morago di tswa morago nyana hale go tswa go ngwageng wa bo 2018 lehatshe la Botswana le pikile setlhopha sa baitsanape kana le bana le sabe ba ileng gore ba ne ba buisana le kompone ya DBS ga tloga ga kgoreletsega kana kwa COVID mme le morago ga mo dipuisano tse tsa boa tsa simologa gape mme motho ga itse tla re mona go sa hediseng pele be re boela go bone mo nakong ya gompieno re tswelela letse re nang le tsone ka kwano. All right, you are on Botswana Connect here on the BTV News channel, and President Advocate Duma Boko will be giving a keynote address at the colloquium for judicial officers on combating money laundering as well as terrorist financing and the proliferation of financing. This comes as Botswana is set to be assessed for the third round, with the on-site evaluation scheduled to commence in 2027.
We have recently all witnessed the collapse of our infrastructure as a result of the floods that hit us. And it became clear that we do not have climate resilient infrastructure. it also became clear that many of the works were actually substandard. Infrastructure is poor, badly designed, poorly constructed, and a real danger to all of us. And the likely reason is some of our professionals who had been entrusted with the responsibility of delivering these projects, both at the level of design, construction, and ultimate delivery, failed in their duties. And most of them fail not because they are professionally incompetent, must have given them something in order for them not to apply themselves as their profession requires them to.